Today we are bringing you a special fly that Brent has been developing with excellent results. You can see how natural this leech pattern looks and swims. Leeches are big trout food, and they feed on them primarily in low light conditions. This fly will hook you up to some of your largest trout of the season.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the segment of the bench. I'm going to be tying you up a great little leech pattern here. I'm getting bunchies ready for next season. This is Twilight Leech. I'm tying it on a Temco 5263 size 8 streamer hook. I'm using some 020 lead wire in behind that. There's going to be some extra small black soft wire utilized in here. I'll be using some peacock herl, or in this case I'll be using peacock eyes. And the tailing material, I'm going to be taking some of this webby hackle off the back of a saddle, and you'll see some of this really nice marabou on the very base of it. Those make great tailing materials. The body is going to be, or the collar is going to be Canadian Black Arizona Semi-Seal. And this is a really nice natural coloration. I was given their access to a lot of these beads. Ruben Berkowitz and Rod Bitterman used to come to the shows all the time in Calgary when I was there. It showed me these glow-in-the-dark beads. That goes back a long time ago, and how well they worked. I'm not sure if there's still time flies with them or not, because sometimes we forget about these good old materials. We're always looking at the new stuff. So what we want to do is bring in some of this nice, right on the base of those feathers in the back, you're going to see this really nice little soft marabou. Right on the, what a beautiful little, this stuff works, it's just perfect. It's nice and fine, it swims really, really good. Got nice tips on it too. A little bit shiny material, looks really good. So don't throw these, you got capes or saddles or whatever else, you'll pick out the sweet spots and then forget about some of that really good material in the back. Okay, we'll tie that in. I'll bring in some of my extra small black wire. Tie that in behind the lead. You don't want to overdo the weight on these flies. Now, you can't get this glass bead glow in the dark. They also make glow in the dark metal beads. Then don't put any more lead behind it, because it gets too heavy and it'll act like a jig more so than a leech. Okay. Now you can go with the straight peacock herl in the bags. Here's these eyes I like using. This is really, really nice peacock herl here. Peacock herl is a bronzy material. When you get it wet, it's magic. I'm going to tie that in by the tips. 1.5 hitch here. And I'm going to make myself a peacock herl rope. Just lay it alongside my thread. And if you don't have a spinning vise like this, you can just wrap the peacock herl around your thread to make a rope. So that is going to make it much stronger. And then the wire is going to come up and rib. So this is a pretty slender body. It's a nice bright body right now. But I'm going to show it to you when it's wet. And you're going to see why fish love eating this. So I'm going to reverse wrap with the black wire. Pretty close turns. Just thin that out a little bit. The body thins down, that's good. Even better. I'm looking for that iridescence, because these leeches aren't solid color. They have that copper hue to them. They're not black. They're shiny. That peacock herl does a great job, so that is something I would not deviate from at all. Okay. Now here comes the secret sauce, Canadian Black Arizona Semi-Seal. Now you want to make sure that you tie some of these up in different colors. It depends on where you're going. You might use an olive, bronze peacock. Here's a Canadian brown. So those are good colors to tie. You can go with red and black, but it's getting bright. I want to keep these natural colors without putting a lot of bling on here. I think it's critical. I really believe in that. And it's like matching the hatch with dry flies. You can better be close sometimes when they're selective, that's the fly that's going to work. Might not be the prettiest fly in the box, but you're going to get the most attention out of it. So I'll bring this semi-seal out of the bag. It's a really nice mix, and it's going to come in very thin. And I'm going to put a dubbing loop here. So if you don't have it, what I'm doing is just drop it between the thread and the wire. And I'm going to spin it there. And if not, just use a dubbing loop with your thread. That'll work fine, just fine. And then I'll grab a little wire brush here to comb this out. And of course, with that wire in there, it makes it really durable. So I'm going to come in right behind the bead, and this is going to get just a little light dressing. Make sure it's kind of covering. Give it another one if you want. Don't overdo it. We always overdress streamers and leeches. Got to make them thin. And this is a really nice over the top of that. Okay, so get my little brush out again. I'm just going to envelope that peacock, and that peacock with that wire over top of it is totally bulletproof. Now, the reason I'm really stoked about this glass bead, this glow-in-the-dark bead, if you watch leeches swimming under the water, and a natural leech, they always have a little white sucker on the front of them. Not a red head like the red-headed leeches we're doing. They have a little white sucker on the front. That's very prominent. And then another thing with this being a glow-in-the-dark bead, and why I mentioned the Twilight Leech, is that the best leech fishing is at low light. When guys are sitting up in their camp having a cold beer and you're out there catching a lot of the big fish, that's because those big fish are out hunting, and they're looking for leech patterns at the night. They'll be the ones they target, and that little glow-in-the-dark bead will put you right over the top. You won't even believe how much fun you're going to have, and you'll be catching some of the best fish you ever caught. You might not be taking beautiful pictures in bright sunlight when you're catching them big fish. You're going to see a lot of them big fish pictures are low light or dark, or just about dark. So I call it the Twilight Leech. I know you're going to like it. Try to get those other colors in the loop, and really wish you well with this one. So thanks to Rod and Ruben for, steering me on to them beads years ago. I've used them for other patterns too, and they're really good. So that's really the whole secret of this Pass It On, is we get to meet some really good guys up and down the road, and we all share a little information with each other here and there. And boy, it's so helpful. So I'm really glad you tuned in to us here online here on YouTube, and hope to bring you share some more secrets with you along the way. Have a great day, and we'll catch you again next time.
Thanks for watching Brent's Fly Fishing Instructional Series. He can be found on Brent's YouTube channel and Sport Fishing on the Fly.